seeing all of that, here you are, a couple of months now, you had some suspicions, some red flags, asked her about it a couple of times, she denies it, defensive. Now you open it up, and you see this.
Yeah.
Tell the jury how you felt. How did it make you feel?
I was devastated. There's obviously something going on,
Okay. So
I didn't know what to do.
okay. So what did you do?
So I had actually started using WhatsApp myself when we moved to Maui, because that's the main communication platform that the anesthesiology group uses, and so I was using it every day, communicating with the rest of the group and during our business meetings. And so I knew that WhatsApp, since even though it's primarily an app on your phone, there's a web interface. You can log into WhatsApp on your computer through the browser as well, and it'll basically just duplicate everything that's on your account.
And then what did you do the next day?
So I took her phone upstairs to my computer, which is in the hallway upstairs, and I logged into her WhatsApp on my computer.
So you could watch her.
So I could
activity.
see, because yeah.
Okay. You mentioned being devastated. I mean, prior to this, did you have any, aside from we talked about the red flags, but marriage-wise, I mean, everything seemed okay?
Everything seemed fabulous. We were.
Okay.
We were very happy together. No red flags in terms of the marriage itself.
Okay. So now, you want to learn more. You go into what do you call it, like detective mode, kind of?
Yeah.
Okay. So now you logged on and you're able to watch her. And did you do so the next day?
Yes. Excuse me. Yes.
Tell the jury what you saw the next day?
So the next day, it was basically the same type of thing that they were doing on Sunday and Monday. So they start off by saying good morning, and then just wasn't communication the entire day. But this day she started deleting messages, and so one of the first things that she did is she deleted all of the messages from Sunday and Monday.
Okay, so when you went, make sure you put the mic a little closer. So when you saw the messages the night before.
Yes.
And now you're looking at it on the computer next day, and those messages you saw the night before are deleted?
Yes.
Okay. And then what?
And then I saw them communicate kind of in real time, because I could see it pop up on my screen too. And as soon as the conversation proceeded, kind of past, she would kind of keep deleting the previous messages. So she was not deleting them in real time, but throughout the day she was deleting the previous messages.
And the content of the communications and what was being deleted, again, was it concerning?
Yeah, I mean it was the same type of conversation that she was having with them on the previous 2 days, which is not a conversation you have with a coworker. This is a conversation you have with your spouse. Okay. I mean, this is
and after watching that all day long, what did you conclude? I mean, in terms of what was going on, did you believe?
I mean, she was having an affair.
Okay. Let me ask you this: while that was, did you, because she was deleting these things, did you try to save some of the messages?
Yes. So the first thing I did, actually, the night that I unlocked her phone, because on WhatsApp you can also export the thread basically and save the thread, and so I exported the thread to my phone. So I had copies of what was on there when I first discovered it, and then the next day on my computer, the only thing I could do on the web interface is take screenshots of the.
And you took some.
Yeah.
All right. So now you are faced with, this. You got this trip in a day or two. Do you confront Ariel right away?
Not right away. So the way that this was happening was that our trip to San Luis Obispo, there's no direct flights from Maui to San Luis Obispo, and so we coordinated that the layovers were going to be in Phoenix, which is where Brian Gianna lives. And Ari was taking a red eye on Tuesday night. And so on Tuesday, when I was first discovering and watching this kind of in person for the first time,
let me stop you there. So just to help the jury. So Monday night is when you first found the WhatsApp chain, is that right?
Right. So Monday overnight.
Tuesday
Tuesday
day-
morning, I wake up and I start looking at them interacting in real
Throughout the day.
time during the day.
And then Ariel's supposed to leave that night.
And so
Okay.
she's supposed to leave that night.
Do you confront her before she leaves?
I do not.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, so she leaves. Who do you first reach out to talk to about this?
Yeah. So on Wednesday night, I'm supposed to leave to fly to Phoenix to meet Bryant and then go to San Luis Obispo.
Okay.
And Wednesday, like in the middle of the day, I call him and talk to him.
Okay. And why did you call?
FaceTime.
Why did you call Brian to talk to him about it?
Few different reasons. One was that we were, about to go on this trip with them, and I wasn't able to. Like, I knew I was going to have to confront her as soon as I got to San Luis Obispo. So now it's Wednesday, and I'm convinced of, I'm seeing what they're doing, especially what she was sharing with them on Wednesday. So on Wednesday, she was spending all day in San Luis Obispo with Gianna, and she's basically keeping him up to. I mean, first thing is, like, as soon as she lands in Phoenix in the morning, she's like, just landed. I have an hour and a half. If you're free, we can chat. Can't wait to talk to you.
Is she texting you, keeping you up to date?
Like, I'm getting, I also got a just landed text, but like nothing else,
Okay.
and but she's like, reaching out to him, and on WhatsApp, like, you can see when a message has been read, and so as soon as she saw that he read her just landed text, she called him, like, right, she didn't wait for him to respond.
Okay.
And stuff, and like, I'm not getting a call, I'm not getting any of this stuff, and then during the day, she's sending him pictures of the places that they're of her and Gianna doing stuff,
So you're seeing this.
So I'm seeing this, and that's at that point I'm just like, I can't go to San Luis Obispo and not confront her about this right away. Like,
And going back to Bryant, right? So I know.
Yeah.
Did you guys have like fun activities planned? It was supposed to be a fun couples
yeah.
trip.
So I mean, it was supposed to be a couples trip, right? And it was Gianna's birthday, and actually Ari planned it because she used to work for, one of the power plants that she. That was her responsibility for refueling is just outside of San Luis Obispo. So she used to travel to San Luis Obispo all the time for work, and
Okay.
so
were you
planned like
were you
a bunch of fun
reaching out to
activities.
Brian and you said there's several reasons. Was one of it to kind of let him know, like, hey, this might not be the fun trip we had
Yeah.
planned?
So the first reason was like, hey, like, this is, I'm just giving you a heads up. Like, I'm gonna confront Ari with basically an affair.
Was there other reasons why you wanted
And
to?
then the other reason was that the other reason why he's my best friend and I wanted some advice, but I specifically wanted advice from him because they had just gone through infidelity in their relationship like 6 months earlier.
Brian and Gianna.
Brian and Gianna, and
Okay.
so
They were dealing with that.
yeah, and so he had been dealing with this, and I was looking for advice and just needed a
And
friend.
just to be
talk
clear
to.
for the jury, in that situation, though, was it reversed?
It was, yeah.
was
Brian had like a one-night stand, and Gianna
Yeah.
found out about
Okay.
it. And
So they had been dealing
kicked
with
him
that
out of the
and after
house
that.
and stuff. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And so you talked to Brian.
Yes.
Do you fly up on the trip?
Yes.
When you get there, do you confront Ariel right away?
Almost right away. I mean, like right when we get there, they already have dinner reservations and stuff like that waiting for us. And so we go to dinner, and right after dinner, when we go back to the hotel, is when I confront her.
Did you talk to Gianna before you confronted Ariel?
Very briefly.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you
And-
told her what you had found.
I basically just gave, I told her briefly what I'd found, and then left to go talk to Ari and left Bryant to explain to her more.
So, where do you confront Ari? Were you in the hotel room?
In the hotel room.
You confront her with it. Tell the jury how that went and what Ariel's initial reaction was.
Yeah, I confront her with it, and she's immediately remorseful and doesn't deny anything, admits to it, and is crying and
Let me ask you this. You say admits to it, and when Miss Coney testified, she kept using the term, you guys use the term emotional affair, but in that time period, what did she admit to? Having a...
she admitted to having an affair. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
With Jeff Miller.
Yeah, she admitted this was completely inappropriate relationship.
Okay. And so you
we
mentioned
called it
she-
an affair from the start.
And you mentioned she was remorseful and crying.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Now, here we are now in San Luis Obispo. This is going on. What was your emotional state like at the time? In other words, what were you thinking needed to happen? And like, you guys were going to try to work this out or
Yeah.
not, or while you're on the trip.
Yeah, no, I mean it was tough. I mean a lot of emotions for sure, but Brian and John were really helpful, and we were away from the kids and away from work and away from everything else, so we can kind of just focus on this.
Okay.
And
You guys reached some kind of conclusion as to
yeah.
whether or not you guys were going to break up or what?
Oh yeah. So yeah, we both wanted to work on it. We both, well, she basically said, like, I'm so sorry, I can't believe I did this, and I'll do anything it takes to heal our marriage,
Okay.
and you and our kids are more important than anything to me, and I'll do whatever it takes. And we start talking to Brian and Jana, and they kind of help us talk about some things, and we figure out what the next steps are going to be.
Now, during the trip in San Luis Obispo, did the topic of her possibly moving out come up?
Yes.
And-
Yeah,
and-
that was one of the big conversations we had.
And did you guys settle in on, okay, she's not going to move out just right now, we're going to try?
Yeah, so I preferred for her to move out.
Do you mean like break up?
No, we were both committed to working on the marriage, but and this is what Brian and Jana did too. So Brian ended up living in a hotel for like 3 months, and it helped them just focus on the affair and healing from the affair, and then they kind of moved back and kind of
Okay.
started working on everything else, and I felt that was an ideal solution.
Did she want to do that?
Well, both of us, we decided together not to do that, and because we had the two big complicating issues for us was one, our two little boys. So we at the time they were like 1.5 and 4.
So at this time when she was having this relationship with Mr. Miller, how old were the boys?
1.5 and 4.
Okay. And you're saying, obviously, if she moved out, it would have been traumatic on them.
Yeah, so we didn't want.
Okay. So it's okay. You guys decide to not do that then.
Yeah, we didn't want them harmed.
Okay.
But
So let me ask you this: in order for her to not move out, to avoid that harm. Sorry. May I approach Sean?
thank you. Excuse me 1 second.
You want water?
Yes, please.
You mentioned the kids. Was there did Ari have other concerns about her moving out?
Yeah, and the other concern, and again, this was a joint decision, is that we wanted to protect her reputation with family and friends, and so Bryant was able to move out, and really nobody else knew. It was just Ari and I actually that knew, and that was it.
So in other words, if Ari moved out on Maui, you talked about you guys had formed a pretty good, close group of friends. Her parents.
We did, and everybody lived right there, and it's a small community, and I mean, people were going to know that she moved out and would ask why, and
So that was part of the joint decision.
yes.
So you guys are up there, San Luis Obispo, decide that we're going to try. It's not going to move out. What about where there's some talk about if we're going to do that? At least, initially, was there some talk about what was needed to happen as it related to Jeff Miller and her job?
Yes.
What was that? Tell the jury about that.
Yeah, so I mean, she obviously needed to terminate the affair immediately, but also to terminate all contact with Jeff Miller, and that would involve her quitting her job and getting a new job.
Initially, what did she say? I mean, was that something she was agreeable to initially?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And so we decided that was the plan. And she said she just needed a little bit of time, and so she didn't want to quit her job right away, but that she would limit contact with him. And so she actually sent him an email through work, like a work email, and said, basically, hi Jeff, from this point on, all of our communication needs to be in email only. If we do meet, because they would have virtual meetings all the time, if we do meet, it would have to be with one other person present. And she did this without talking to me, but showed it to me afterwards. Said, hey, this is what I did. Is that okay? And I said, that's fine.
So the plan was that she was going to quit her job and maybe find a new job, but in the meanwhile,
for sure she was going to quit her job and find a new job.
Okay.
But in the meanwhile,
there was going to be some boundaries related to her interactions with Miller.
Yes.
Okay. Was she supposed to go on another work trip with Jeff Miller soon after the San Luis Obispo trip?
Yes.
To where and when?
So the San Luis Obispo trip ended on Sunday, and then on Sunday I was going to fly back to Maui to take care of the kids, and she was flying to Seattle, and she had a week-long business trip in Seattle starting right after this
right
trip.
after?
Mm-hmm.
She was going to go straight? And Mr. Miller was supposed to be there?
Yes.
Did you later learn anything about the hotel situation related to that?
Not even later. It was. I mean, so while we were in San Luis Obispo and while we're still talking about all these things, I told her basically, I'm not okay with you going to Seattle. And she said, no, I totally understand. And she said, I'm going to cancel that trip. And she admitted that she had changed her hotel from the hotel that she was supposed to stay in with her primary team that she works with at Terra Power to the hotel that Jeff Miller was in, and they already had dinner plans for Sunday night.
Okay. And then she canceled that trip.
But she canceled all of that. So she told work she had a family emergency and couldn't go, and so we flew back together to Maui on Sunday.
You get back to Maui on Sunday, and there was some kind of initial conversations about what needed to happen with her job and whatnot. When you get back to Maui, are you still kind of just trying to figure out how to deal with this whole situation?
Yes.
Did you tell anyone other than Gianna and Brian?
No.
And was that for the reasons you talked about earlier about Ariel's reputation?
Yes.
But you did. We saw the email that you sent at some point to Mr. Miller's wife, right?
Oh, yeah. And I did that in San Luis Obispo.
Yeah. And that was in San Luis Obispo. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the day that I found out.
Yeah. And
that's not true. That's the day that I confronted her about it.
And why'd you do that?
I just felt that if I was in her shoes, I would want to know.
Okay. Okay. So now you get back to Maui, and to your knowledge, immediately after was as far as you knew, Ariel limiting contact with Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Did she ever start to look for a new job?
Yes, right when we got to Maui, she was updating her CV and her LinkedIn profile and looking for jobs.
All right. At some point, did you start listening to some audiobooks and trying to get some advice about how to heal from this?
Yes.
And what did you learn from those books about what was necessary if you guys were going to even have a chance at this?
Yeah. Listen to several books and talk to Bryant a lot, and there's a lot of different things that the books recommend. But the five main things are basically, the first is always to terminate the affair, obviously, and terminate all contact with other cheating spouse. Okay. And all the books talk about, and if this is something at your workplace, you need to quit your job or move department or something like that, because it's something that's commonly happens between coworkers. And then the second thing is that the cheating spouse needs to put in the work to understand all of the damage that they've caused to the relationship, and because it's not immediately apparent, just how deep the trust issues are going to impact things, and potentially putting the family dynamics and the kids at risk and things like that, and all the different ways that you hurt your spouse. And so that was the second thing. The third thing is,
was there anything about privacy?
Yeah. So one of the main things is actively rebuilding trust, and that means that you're going to have to proactively give up privacy and then also tolerate some invasion of privacy. Meaning, basically, like you need to tolerate if your partner is saying like, "Hey, can I see your phone, for a sec and see who you're talking to," or "Hey, I can I see who you're emailing?" So
Not get defensive.
and not get defensive. Yeah.
Okay. Now, and did you discuss those things with Ariel?
Yes.
Okay. And was she doing these things?
In the beginning, and then very inconsistently the rest of the month.
Very what?
Very inconsistently the rest of the month.
So she was kind of initially willing to do some of these things, but then seemed to become unwilling.
Yeah. So basically, it seemed like her whole attitude changed really within a few days of us getting back to Maui.
Tell us about that.
She started minimizing the affair and trying to say that it wasn't like a big deal, and she started blaming me for the affair and just saying like, well, you caused some of these things, and some of the
Okay.
telling me some of the things that I was doing that potentially contributed her doing.
Was she open to your questions about, hey, let me see your phone, or who are you calling?
Like on and off, she would get defensive and get irritated at me, basically asking those things.
So when she was kind of now backing off of some of the things you guys initially had agreed to, did that cause you to kind of go into detective mode again and look into, try to obtain more information about the extent of her relationship?
Yeah.
Okay. And
Yeah.
what new information, if any, did you learn at that point?
I was trying to talk to her about the affair and just trying to get more details, because we didn't talk about it in detail in San Luis Obispo. We were just kind of talking about big picture. Are we going to stay together?
Okay.
Are we going to move out?
But she admitted
all
to
these
it, though,
things.
right?
Yeah, she admitted to it. And then later, a few weeks later, I was looking, and the two main things that I found out. Let me just back up. So I was trying to ask her more questions about the affair, and she wouldn't basically engage and answer questions. And so everything that I found out is I basically found out on my own. And I found out that when they were in South Africa on our phone bill, actually, there's records of them texting just through regular text, like up through past like 10 o'clock on that night that she never got back to me.
Okay.
And then again, like a 1-minute phone call at 5:30 the next morning, local time, and I was like, that seems odd. And then in that combined with in the work thread that they had on the WhatsApp, not the personal one, the work one, the next morning they're talking about work stuff, but then they're also talking about how they can barely stay awake and they're both so tired and
So it made you wonder.
Yeah, I just.
Okay, what else
that
did
made
you
me,
learn? What else new things did you
concern.
learn?
And then the other thing was just the sheer scope of the number of deleted messages, because I saw that WhatsApp has a statistics area where you can go to for the app that shows you how many total messages have been sent or received since the last reset of the app, and she had deleted over 10,000 messages during that time.
Over what period of time?
I'm assuming during, So the thread was created on June 4th, and I'm not sure when. She said that the affair started after the South Africa trip, is what she admitted to me. So it was either over 3 months or 6 months.
Okay, you just start doing some
but it's like,
rudimentary
50
math
to 100, or like 60 to 120 messages a day.
Okay. During that time
if it's averaged throughout the whole day, and then 19 hours of phone and video calls too.
Okay. This is probably a dumb question, but did that make you feel better or worse about the situation?
No, it made me feel worse, and I was just feeling worse about the whole situation overall, because it takes some time to kind of process all the emotions involved with it and realize all the implications of of this. Yeah.
Let me
So
ask
I
you
was,
this.
I was getting worse definitely in December.
The new information that you discovered, did you discuss it with her or try to?
I tried.
And how did that go?
She wouldn't. She really wouldn't engage about anything with the affair. She kept saying like, "Stop asking me questions. You know, you're. It feels like you're asking me 21 questions. Like, you know, things like that."
After, you know, this new information and now it's kind of seems like it's regressing her attitude, did you ever ask her to move out in December again?
I did. Yeah.
Tell us how many times
2 times.
and what happened?
So the first time was around the middle of the month, I just told her, like, you know, you're not doing what you said you were going to do, which is to take accountability for your actions and to basically do whatever it takes to heal the marriage. At that point in time, she became very apologetic and said, "I'm so sorry. Like, you know, you're right. Like,
Okay.
I'll do all those things." But
there-
again, that didn't last, and so.
Was there a
then
second time?
The second time was, and I remember the date because we had our first couples therapy session was scheduled for December 27th, and December 26th we got into a big argument about the same thing, and I ended up sleeping on the couch that night, and
Did you ask her to move out?
yeah, so I asked her to move out, and I ended up sleeping on the couch that night.
Okay. And again, okay, so
Yeah.
so when you would bring up moving out, then she would say, "Okay, I'm sorry," and then she would say she would recommit.
On the 26th, nothing was resolved that
Okay.
night. We just kind of got in a big argument, and I left and went to go sleep on the couch.
Now, were you having? I mean, you know, again, probably a dumb question, but were you having a hard time with all of this?
Yes.
Did you? Could we pull up State's Exhibit S105? That's in evidence, please, Mr. Dirks. Did you turn to any sources to try and help yourself? Get some advice, get some healing. We talked about the audiobooks. There was this exhibit about Reddit as one after infidelity. What is that about? Were you looking at this? And tell the jury why, if you were.
Yeah, no, it's just a thread about people that are struggling with you know, finding out their spouses had cheated, basically,
Okay.
and advice and also just kind of, you know, sharing stories so you feel like you're not alone.
Were you trying to get to a point where you could feel okay? Carol?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Was that what you're trying to do?
Yes.
Okay. In other words, you didn't rush straight to get out of here. I don't want to see you again. Kick you out of the house.
No, not at all.
Okay. But
No.
but it was hard. Was it hard?
It was extremely hard, and
But you were the audiobooks, Reddit. You were trying to get to a good place. Is that right?
yes.
Okay, we can take that down. By the way, there was this mention about the word Darvo the other day by
Yes.
Inuma. What is? I mean, Did it come up on the Reddit thread?
It did.
And what is that about?
And I don't remember the acronym, but basically it was I came across it, and it's basically something that quite often happens. And so basically, you know, the person that got caught having the affair, sometimes in the weeks after, you know, they would try to turn the tide. So they would try to kind of take the spotlight off of them and move it to the other person, and basically say like, "Wow, but you know, but you did this and this," you know.
Okay.
And so it's
think he said
a fairly
something like-
common thing that
Yeah.
people try to do to just try to
Become
deflect.
defensive.
Yeah.
I think it was like attack. I forget what, but basically, it's there was actually a term for it.
Yeah.
And from what you read, it's when the person who did the cheating tries to deflect and kind of turn it back on you.
Exactly.
Did that resonate with you when you learned about that
Yes.
term, Darvo?
Yes.
And why was that?
Because that's what she was doing. Like,
Okay.
so throughout December, it just felt like she was, you know, minimizing what she had done, and then she started bringing up all these things about our relationship, other things.
Okay, and I'm going to get to that. The audiobooks, can we pull up Exhibit D 126, please? Did you both listen to an audiobook called How to Help My Spouse Heal from My Affair? Or How to Help Your Spouse
yes.
Heal from Your Affair? See that?
Yes.
And these are text messages between...
I'm sorry, what exhibit is this?
Sorry. D 126. I believe it's in evidence.
It is not.
It is.
Not.
1 second.
Take your time.
I apologize. So I did ask her about it. There was text messages between the two of you guys about an audiobook called How to Help My Spouse Heal from My Affair, correct?
Yes.
And is that something that a audiobook you both listen to in your efforts to try and get to a better place?
Yes.
Okay.
I know I listened to it, and she told me she did.
Now, you heard her testify that she told the detective that her interactions with Mr. Miller were some flirty texts. From what you saw back then and discovered, was that an accurate description of the extent of her relationship with Mr. Miller?
Not at all.
Proper impeachment. And
No, overrule.
prior inconsistent.
Understand. Overrule.
Let me ask that again. You had conversations with Ariel where she admitted to the affair, yes?
Yes.
You saw the communications that she had with Mr. Miller, correct?
Yes.
There was all this stuff you just talked about. You heard her say, and when the detective asked her about it, she said there was no affair, and she described it as flirty texts. From everything that you learned about this situation, was that an accurate description of what was going on between her and Mr. Miller?
No.
Objection calls for opinion.
Sustain. That's answer stripping.
Isn't that? I'm sorry, I apologize. That's not the same question I asked a second ago?
No.
Okay, let me think of what that last question was then.